All right, every man, if you're 22, 32, you should get your blood work done. It is non-negotiable. You need to have this information. Now, why is this so important? You see, the current climate we live in, it is a lot harder to keep your testosterone levels where it should be. There's this massive phenomenon of a lot of guys having very low testosterone. A lot of men that have to go on TRT because their levels are very low. We're seeing this across the board. Now, by getting your testosterone levels checked, especially early on, when you're younger, when you're 25, etc., it gives you that first baseline measurement, okay? So if something happens down the line, maybe you're 31, maybe you're 32, maybe your sex drive is down, maybe something feels off, you can get your levels checked and you can see, are my levels exactly what they were when I was 25? Maybe they are. Maybe something is in your head and your levels are good, right? Or maybe something happened and your levels are suppressed a lot. So you want to have that initial measurement because there's a lot of guys that get their testosterone, something's checked and something's up and the levels are only 350. Well, it's helpful to know what they would have been when they were 25. Did something happen along those lines or were they always 350? So it is very, very important to get these levels checked. Now, in the medical community, really all they're looking for is, are your levels below the bottom of the reference range? Are they below like 370? Are you 300? Are you 250? Okay. For me, like that's just to be reasonably healthy, to not have an alarming issue. But you actually want to think about it a lot differently, a lot more in depth if you care about maximizing your health, maximizing your performance, maximizing your drive, your ambition, and your passion. The first thing to understand is that every man, you should get your testosterone levels checked. Even if you're 24, 25, find out what it is. Now, there's two ways to go about it, right? So you can go to your family doctor and you can ask, hey, I want to get my levels checked, okay? And funny enough, they say, no, it's not important, you're young, it's not a big issue. Or they might say, what issue are you having? You say, well, I don't have any issue, I just want to see what my levels are, just in case down the road, I can compare it if it drops and stuff. They don't care about that, okay? You gotta finesse the geese. So what you tell them is, you say, hey, yeah, you know what, like my girlfriend, I'm having a hard time getting a boner, I'm just like not horny, I think my testosterone levels are low, I'm anxious, I'm shy, like I don't have energy. You gotta famoosh the goose a little bit, okay? And then they'll be like, okay, yeah, okay, we'll get your levels checked, okay? That's how you do it. That's how you famoosh the goose. But again, a lot of these times, like they don't even measure that much stuff. They just get your total. They don't check your free. Now, I really, really, really like to see free testosterone, okay? And the reason why is that about 98% of your total testosterone is bound up. The 2% that is free has the most power to exert itself on your cells for muscle growth. All the benefits people think of having when you have high testosterone, gaining muscle more easier, having a higher sex drive, having more energy, having more confidence, it's more connected to free testosterone than total. So for example, you could have someone that has 800 total, okay? 750, 800, which is a very high, that's high, healthy, natural testosterone, right? But they're free, okay, and I'm talking about nanograms per deciliter, their free might only be 10 nanograms per deciliter. And so their free might be very low. And so they're not, even though their testosterone's high, they should optimize and solve for increasing free testosterone. So that's what you want to look for. Now, there's an easier path if you just want to spend money. There's a cool company I heard Andrew Huberman talk about called Inside Tracker. Now, some of my clients have used it and they like it. You can even have them come to your house. If you're in America, Canada, come to your house. You can do a full panel. You can find out your biological age. I'll be doing my Inside Tracker pretty soon. I'll be vlogging it. But you're going to check your total testosterone, right? You definitely want to get your free testosterone because you could have 500, 600 total, but your free could be higher than guys that have 1,000, right? So you want to look at free. You want to look at estrogen. Do you have excess estrogen? Is that an issue? You can look at IGF-1, right? You can look at DHEAS, these different hormones that are involved in sort of muscle building process. The one I want to get when I did my blood work with Derek, he said it's worth getting for me is DHT. Because he was like, your DHT, which is a very androgenic hormone, is probably pretty high because my free testosterone was very, very high. So I must have higher DHT because that potentially the sex hormone binding globulin, which binds to total, which basically bounds up your testosterone so less is free, it could be binding up to my DHT, leaving more of my testosterone unbound. DHT is cool to look at, but you definitely want to get your sex hormone binding globulin, because if your sex hormone binding globulin is very, very high, that can hurt your free testosterone. And then the two that are really, okay, the most important is LH, which is your luteinizing hormone, okay? And luteinizing hormone is the precursor to testosterone, right? So what you see, a lot of men these days, especially men that are very overweight, obese, their LH is pumping very high to try and get their testosterone up, but it's not working, okay? It's not working because they have too much body fat. They're basically in a bad place. They're working so hard to get testosterone up, but they can't do it. Excess body fat will hurt your body's ability to produce testosterone. So you want to look at luteinizing hormone. And again, if you have guys that are taking anabolics, they're taking steroids, they're taking SARMs, their luteinizing hormone, their body's ability to produce testosterone gets crushed. And their LH levels are very, very, very low, below the normal healthy range, way below the normal healthy range. So, and again, it takes up to like 6 to 9 months for your luteinizing hormone to bounce back. So if someone's doing drugs, their body's ability to produce testosterone, the LH, could take 6 to 9 months to come back, which is a very, very long time. So you want to see what your LH looks like, okay? And then FSH. And actually, for sperm quality, sperm health, a lower level of FSH is better for sperm health, sperm quality. I think like 2, sub 2 or so. So you want to look at all these different variables: total testosterone, free testosterone, sex hormone binding globulin, LH, FSH, and look at DHEAS, IGF-1, etc., etc. These are all cool things that you can look at to kind of see what your hormonal output is like. And then it's good to know, okay, is your total, right? Is your total testosterone low? Are you only like 300, 400? Is your free testosterone low or high? So for example, let's say your total testosterone is 600, okay? But your free testosterone is 6. That means only nanograms per deciliter. That means only 1% of your total testosterone is unbound. That's bad. That means your free testosterone is very, very low. Now, if, for example, your free testosterone is, say, 20, that means that more than 2% of your total testosterone is unbound and free. And that is very, very high. That's powerful. So in our Mojo product, boron is very good at increasing free testosterone. Zinc can help increase free testosterone, especially if you're low in zinc. And Tongeta Li is very effective at helping increase free testosterone. So it helps free up more of your total testosterone. So that is very, very helpful. So that's how I really recommend getting your blood work done. Now, I challenge people, if you're gonna take the Mojo, get your blood work done first, initially. Now, you wanna do your blood work first thing in the morning, fasted, just drink water, empty stomach. That will give you the most reliable measurement. Now, if you get your testosterone checked at 9 a.m., okay, and then the next time you go and you get checked at 1 p.m., well, you couldn't drop 10, 15% throughout the day. So you might have like a morning measurement of 650, and by the afternoon, you're at 500, 550. The testosterone peaks in the morning and then comes down. That's why morning sex is the best. But that is what I recommend. Get your blood work done just to have that case study to make sure, okay, great, my T levels are 600. And then even if you want to get them checked 5 years later, 10 years later, you're like, okay, is my T maintaining itself? I'm 31. I first did my test when I was 22. I've been able to maintain my testosterone levels very, very well. The idea that there's this drop of testosterone, you know, from 20 or even from 30 and down is wrong. If you maintain proper diet, get the right nutrients, get your zinc, magnesium, boron, all of them are inside Kino Mojo. If you are active, you maintain muscle, you push hard, you live that life, right? You have that lifestyle, you can maintain high levels of testosterone, naturally high levels of testosterone, well into your 30s, even your 40s. So the idea that T levels just drop off at 30 is wrong. If you stop working out, if you put on body fat, if you're living a hyper-stressed lifestyle, if your woman has you by the balls, your T levels are gonna go down. Even winning, right? Winning influences your testosterone and it spikes it up. Winning, body language, even me just kind of assuming a more confident, bigger body language influences it. Now, many guys become disenfranchised and they start to just kind of lose their masculine edge. They start to kind of become like house cats and they kind of stop winning. They start losing. They start getting beaten down. They start becoming more obsequious and then their testosterone levels drop and then it becomes a vicious cycle and it just goes down and down and down and down. You want to create the opposite where your testosterone levels just kind of build. You got your nutrition on point. You got the right key supplements. You got your lifting on point. You know, you got your stress managed. You're doing a little bit of meditation, journaling, you're relaxing. You enter the world with power, with conviction, with authority. And you signal your body to produce more testosterone, and because you have more testosterone, you have more drive, and it's a self-fulfilling upward spiral. So biology can impact the result a creature gets. And so when your biology is broken because your T levels are low, that is gonna influence a negative outcome. If you get your biology correct by taking the right natural steps to optimize your total and free testosterone, it's gonna help create a more positive outcome, okay? So this isn't just gain muscle. This influences you in a much better way. They even had tests where they had women smell the t-shirts of guys with higher free testosterone they deemed more attractive just by scent alone, okay? So getting your biology correct naturally is a very powerful secret weapon. Now, if you want to try my Kino Mojo that I've been obsessed with, I've been using this since June. Once I got my samples in, then hit the link around this video. We have a massive order, but it is selling out. You're gonna wanna try the Kino Mojo while taking the correct steps. And that Mojo brings that extra edge. Within 4 or 5 days, you're waking up with iron rods. You have that more zest. If you watch my videos now, okay, versus going back a full year, you can see a little difference. You can see that little oomph. So get the Kino Mojo and get your blood work done. And it's gonna be really awesome data to have. And again, a great place to be for your total testosterone is like, you know what? 600 and up is great. 600 and 900, you're in a great spot. The difference between total at 600 or 700 is not that big of a difference, 600, 800. But where you see a bigger difference is in free testosterone, right? So free testosterone. So you wanna get your free testosterone to the upper teens to low mid 20s, okay? So a lot of guys, I've seen so many guys that have 700, 800 total and their free testosterone is like 13, 14. It's so common. So guys, I got great high testosterone, but let's look at your free. It's not that great, man. So, but when you get your free to like 18, 20, that's when you're optimized best for muscle building, for maintaining muscle as you get very lean, 22, that 18 to 22 range is sort of where you want to be. Now, some people can push it and get to 25, 24. That's unreal. Guys that are taking TRT and stuff, they're usually on around high 20s, low 30s. So you can get to like 20, 21, 22 naturally. You are in awesome condition. So again, a lot of guys think they have high testosterone, but their free it's not that great. It's rare these days to find a guy naturally with a free testosterone of 20, 22. It's actually quite rare. So that's where you want to be. If you get total 600 plus, that's great. But if you can get your free to the high teens, low 20s, that is very, very solid. So again, I've even seen a guy that had 750 total and his free was 5 nanograms per deciliter, okay? Something was up there, okay? So again, you wanna optimize for your free around shoot for the 20 to low 20s, and you'll be in the best condition to maximize muscle growth. And I've had a guy that took Kino Mojo, okay? He increased his free testosterone 50% from 13 to the high teens. A 50% increase in free testosterone in 3 months, which is unbelievable. If you get your free testosterone up 25, 30%, that's awesome. 50% is a night and day difference. So that is the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Talk soon.